So before I start the session, let me introduce myself. So I am the trainer for Azure DevOps. My name is Shivakumar. Okay, I have 19 years of experience. So I started my career as Oracle DBA in the month of June 2003. For the past 7 years, I have been on Azure DevOps, okay, and AWS and Azure clouds. This is my brief introduction. Okay, so let us not waste our time. So when we speak about this course particulars, so what are the prerequisites for this course? So frankly speaking, there is no coding is required for this. No prerequisite. No coding is required. Because this is all about automation. Okay. And it is better to have Windows operating knowledge. Windows 7 or Windows 10. Okay. Generally, everyone is having Windows operating knowledge, right? Like moving mouse pointer, creating new files, notepad. Okay, everyone might be knowing at least basic knowledge of Windows. Okay, so this is a requirement of okay, Azure DevOps. So actually we have generic DevOps and Azure DevOps. First, we are going to discuss what is meant by DevOps actually. Okay, so once we finish DevOps flow, then we differentiate between generic DevOps and Azure DevOps. Okay, so before that, first let me discuss what are the goals of a DevOps engineer. What exactly a DevOps engineer will be doing. Okay. So the primary responsibility of a DevOps engineer is to reduce the time, okay, to release or to deliver the software. This is a primary responsibility of a DevOps engineer. How a DevOps engineer is going to reduce the time to release their software, that we are going to discuss. Okay. The second responsibility is to provide infrastructure to team members. Okay. And the third responsibility of a DevOps engineer is to reduce the costs to the company. Okay, these are the primary responsibilities, major responsibilities of a DevOps engineer. Okay, and this course is for 8 weeks duration. Okay, so as a part of Azure DevOps, we are providing Docker and Kubernetes at free of cost. Docker and Kubernetes, especially nowadays, this is very demanding because microservices are very popular nowadays. Okay, so what are the microservices? Also, we are going to discuss with one best example. Okay, now before that, let us start the DevOps flow. So I think everyone might be knowing, whenever a new project comes to a organization, software organization, okay, so many other many other steps are performed, like requirement gathering, okay, and analysis phase, many other things are, but I don't want to discuss all those phases. Okay, so whenever a new project comes, first the developer writes the code. Developer will come into picture. Okay, he is going to write the code. No matter whatever language it may be, no matter language, okay, it can be Java, .NET, Python, Ruby, Go language, whatever it may be. Okay, first the developer will come into picture. He is going to write the code. Okay, so where exactly developer is going to write the code? is going to write the code. Okay, let me explain in this way. I will take a diagrammatic route. In a simplified way, we are going to discuss. You just imagine this is my developer machine. Okay. So from developer machine, what happens? The code will be submitted. So this is my developer PC. Okay. So once the developer writing the code is going to submit code into version control system. Why version control system is required here? Because version control system responsibility is to manage the code, okay, that is submitted by various developers. Okay, it is going to have something like shareability feature. It must be able to providing sharing capability. Okay, so that kind of features will be available with my version control system. So version control system, or we can also say source code management, okay, or code repository. These are all synonyms for version control system. So what are the popular version control systems? Like Git, Azure repos, okay. These are the popular version control system. Not only this, okay. So we have many more version control systems in the market. Okay, the popular one are Git, Azure repos, Bitbucket. Okay, these are the popular version control system. In version control system, actually the code is available in raw form. So this raw form cannot be executed directly. The raw form cannot be executed directly. Okay. So this raw form of the code must be converted into some executable format. Further, the code will be deployed into some area called as building environment or build environments. So the purpose of build environment is, okay, to produce artifacts. So artifact is nothing but it is a result of build environment. Build environment is going to perform many activities like unit testing, compilation, okay, and loading, integration of modules. So many things are performed in a build environment. So the popular build tools are something like MS Build for .NET applications, and for Java applications, this is something like Maven. Okay. So here, as a result of build environment, okay, artifacts or executables are created. So with respect to Java project, okay, the executables are nothing but, okay, var files or jar files. And with respect to the MS Build .NET applications, the executables are DLL files or zip files, something like that. So with respect to the C++, the executables are something like .exe files. Okay. Now this artifact cannot be used directly. Okay. Again, it must be tested. So some environment has nothing but one or more systems. Guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, sometimes your voice is breaking.
Now it is okay?
Yeah, now it's okay. We'll see.
Okay, again, to test the artifact that will be deployed into some area that is called as QA or testing environment. Okay, so your complex servers are there in the testing environment, like testings, many kinds of testings like load balancing testing, smoke test, functional testing, integration testing. So many kinds of testings are performed here in this QA. Okay, so just for the simplicity, just have given only one box, but it is a complex environment. Complex environment. So here assume that each circle is nothing but one server. Each circle is nothing but one server. So here, once the code is tested, two things can be happened. That can be revert back to developer machine again if they find any errors and bugs. And other, if the code is error free, okay, again the code will be deployed into some other environment that is called as UAT. UAT or something like pre-prod. Okay, and this is also called as universal action pre-prod. Okay, these are the popular names. Now, what is this environment? That means within the company itself, many people like stakeholders, business customers will be testing the code finally. Okay, from there, so if everything is okay, what happens? The code will be deployed into live environments. The code will be deployed into live environments. This is something like live environment, or these are also called as production. Okay, this is normal flow once upon a time. Before DevOps days, okay, and this was completely manual. But what we can do as a DevOps engineer? As a DevOps engineer, here we are going to create two types of pipelines. What are the two types of pipelines? One is CI pipeline, which stands for continuous integration, and CD pipeline. This is nothing but continuous delivery or continuous deployment. Here there is a difference between continuous deployment and continuous delivery. What is the difference? We will discuss. Continuous delivery. Okay. Here the difference between CI and CD is, so if you are able to automate every activity starting from developer writing the code till production, because this is nothing but continuous deployment. But if you are able to perform automation starting from developer writing the code till build activity, okay, this is nothing but continuous integration. Continuous integration. Continuous integration. Then if you are able to automate everything starting from developer writing the code to till live environment, so this process is called as continuous deployment. Continuous deployment. Now to perform this kind of continuous delivery and continuous deployment and continuous integration, okay, so with respect to generic DevOps means, okay, it is going to provide some third-party tools by which we can automate everything. Okay, so with respect to generic DevOps, we are going to use Jenkins. Okay, with respect to Azure DevOps, we are going to use Azure DevOps tool just for automation. So in Azure DevOps, the process of continuous integration, okay, CI is nothing but build pipeline. CI is equivalent to build pipeline with respect to Azure DevOps. And CD stands for, CD is nothing but release pipeline. Sorry, this is build pipeline, not build DevOps. Build pipeline. Build pipeline, and CD stands for release pipeline. Release pipeline. That means when you are able to automate every activity in the software deployment process, definitely the time is reduced to deliver the software. So once upon a time in the olden days, since it was manual, okay, it was taking years to gather time. Completely this was manual process. So upon arrival of this DevOps culture, DevOps concepts, so we are able to complete this activity. Okay, so when you are able to automate this activity, what happens here? Definitely the time is reduced to deliver the software. That means what kind of automation we are going to do. And whenever developer is going to submit code, automatically my build pipeline is going to take code into version control system. From there, in automated fashion, it is going to generate artifact. Okay, from there it is going to deploy the artifact into QA, quality assurance or testing environment. From there, okay, the code will be moving to next level. Okay, without your intervention, without any manual involvement, automatically the code will be deployed. The code will be moved from one stage to other stage. Okay, now this is one responsibility of a DevOps engineer. Now, here to perform this activity, okay, suppose I need to have servers right here. Hello, is my voice breaking for everyone?
Yes,
No,
sir.
Yeah, Alauddin, please check your sound system. For others, they are telling that it is okay.
No, sir. Sometimes for me also your voice is breaking.
Okay. And whenever it happens, please intimate me. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Now, here we are speaking about environments, right? Build environment, QA, UAT, live environment. But the environments are nothing but servers. Okay. So every environment requires storage, servers, okay, memory, many things are required, right? As a DevOps engineer, okay, our another responsibility is to provide infrastructure. Okay. And to provide infrastructure, generally we are going to use some tools like CloudFormation, okay, and ARM templates, Terraform, okay. But of course, for Azure DevOps engineers, this is not required. The main target for a Azure DevOps engineer, Azure DevOps people, is to provide, okay, only CI/CD pipelines. We don't provide any kind of infrastructure because this is not infra DevOps. Okay, so our Azure DevOps is completely known as application DevOps. Okay, so here we have two types of DevOps pipelines here. One is application DevOps. Application DevOps means simply we are going to automate this cycle. Okay, just we are going to create two types of pipelines, build pipeline and release pipeline. So to create build pipeline and release pipeline, simply we are going to use application DevOps. Okay, that is Azure DevOps. Okay, so Azure DevOps purely it is known as application DevOps. But when coming to generic DevOps, here we are going to fulfill these three activities. But for Azure DevOps engineers, this is not required. Only first job we are going to perform. This is Azure DevOps. And whereas generic DevOps people will be creating CI/CD pipelines, at the same time, they are also going to provide infrastructure. Okay, they are going to provide infrastructure to other team members. So your infrastructures are nothing but what? Environment. So to create environment, okay, generally we are going to use some tools like Terraform. Okay, we don't use Terraform as a Azure DevOps engineer. We don't use Terraform because our responsibility is majorly to create CI/CD pipelines, continuous integration and continuous delivery or continuous deployment. Okay, so here the major difference between application DevOps and Azure DevOps is, okay, application DevOps is completely Azure DevOps. Here we don't provide any infrastructure. Here we don't provide any infrastructure. Our responsibility majorly is, okay, to create, build and release pipelines. Okay, so if you are a infra DevOps or generic DevOps engineer, okay, so you have to fulfill these two responsibilities. So you have to reduce the time to release the software and to provide the infrastructure, okay, and to reduce the cost to the company. Of course, Azure DevOps engineers will also be doing this because when you are able to perform, Okay, when you are able to automate this kind of activities, means definitely the time is reduced. Okay, when the time is reduced, the cost to the company is also reduced, right? Okay, and one more thing is, as a DevOps engineer, we are going to use all open source softwares. So when you are able to use all open source software, means definitely the cost to the company is reduced. Okay. Still my voice is breaking. Is my voice is okay now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, better compared to before. Yeah.
So is the concept clear, right? What is the difference between a Azure DevOps engineer and a generic DevOps engineer? Generic DevOps engineer is going to perform, okay, majorly two activities: to reduce the time to release the software and to provide the infrastructure. So other team members like your QA team members and development team members and production team members will be asking for infrastructure. Okay, if you are a generic DevOps engineer, okay, your responsibility also to provide servers, But when you are working as a Azure DevOps engineer, you are not a generic DevOps, you are not a infra DevOps guy, just you are an application DevOps guy. Okay, as an application DevOps guy, just you are going to create two types of pipelines, that's all. Okay, we don't provide any infrastructure. Okay, infrastructure provision is majorly that is done by your infra DevOps engineer guys. We don't prepare any infrastructure. We don't provide any infrastructure. Our major responsibility is developer will be giving code to us. Okay, .NET code, Java code, whatever code it may be. From the code, we are going to create two types of pipelines. What are the two types of pipelines? Build pipelines and release pipelines. Build pipeline is nothing but creating artifacts. Okay, so here I told you, right? Okay, in the build environment, generally we are going to create artifacts, something like WAR files or jar files, DLL files, zip files, exe files. Okay, once the artifacts are created, okay, we are going to deploy the artifact into some servers. Okay, servers means that can be live server or QA. That is nothing but what? Okay, continuous deployment or continuous delivery. Okay, that is nothing but release pipeline. Build pipeline enables us to create artifacts. Release pipeline allows us to deploy the artifacts, okay, into some environment. Now, did everyone get the idea of generic DevOps engineer and application DevOps engineer? Any questions? Still is fine.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. In these courses, we are going to learn coding also, sir.
No coding. In the very beginning, I told you, right? No coding is required.
Coding is not required.
Coding is not required. Everything is drag and drop only.
Okay.
Everything is user friendly. Everything is user interface based on.
Sir, this is as like a portal, sir.
This is like
Portal, sir.
yeah, portal side. Okay, completely it is in a GUI format. When interface is given to you, okay, using that interface, we are going to configure build and release pipelines.
Sir, in the software developer part, developer part is different, and the drag and drop is different, sir.
Drag and drop.
What I'm saying, sir, in these applications, developer part will be different, sir.
Yeah, different. Developer part is different. We don't write coding. Okay, developers will be writing the code. Even we don't know even single line of code. We don't develop even single line of code. Okay, whatever code is given by developer, from that code we are going to create artifacts. That's all. So you as a DevOps engineer, we have to know how to build the code, how to create artifact. That's all. but even we don't write even single line of code.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now, as a part of this course, I told you, right, we are providing Docker and Kubernetes, okay, at free of cost. What kind of script we have to write? Okay, sometimes we are going to write something like YAML files. Okay, but most of the industries are using, okay, classic editor only. So to create build and release pipelines, we have two options here. Okay, so what are the two options? One is the classic editor, other one is YAML file. But most of the organizations, nearly 80 to 90% organizations are using classic editor only. Okay, only 10 or 15% people are using YAML files. But our major focus is on classic editor. Classic editor means completely that is a UI. Okay, from the UI only we are going to create build and release pipelines. That's all. We don't write any script. Did you get my point? Okay. Now, when we speak about Azure DevOps, okay, why it is very popular? Why Azure DevOps is so much popular? One is cloud native. That means you no need to install any Azure DevOps software on your machines. Okay, so it is directly available as a service. Directly you can create an account for 3 months. Okay, so you can make use of that account for 3 months. Okay, you need not to pay anything and you need not to maintain any servers. Okay, so if it is generic DevOps like Jenkins or Docker, you have to install, you have to maintain storage, everything you have to manage. Okay, since it is cloud native, okay, everything, okay, software maintenance, hardware maintenance, networking management, everything is done by cloud people only. Okay, so that is the first reason why Azure DevOps became that much popular. Second one is, okay, so we can think of this one as a plug and play. Okay, so plugins are, okay, as a second feature, it supports many languages. So earlier to Azure DevOps, okay, and there was a tool called VSTS. You know, this is a earlier name of Azure DevOps. Till 2018, it was popular. Till 2018, okay, Azure DevOps, actually this was introduced in the year of 2018. Okay, now when the people were using VSTS, okay, 2018 till 2018 it was VSTS only. Okay, it was supporting only .NET languages. Till 2018 it was supporting only .NET framework only, .NET languages, .NET language only, ASP.NET, okay, VB.NET only it is going to support. Now from 2018 onwards, VSTS was renamed as Azure DevOps. From 2018 onwards, it was renamed as Azure DevOps. Now from Azure DevOps, it supports many languages. Not only .NET, it supports Java, okay, Python, okay, Node.js, okay, Ruby, many languages it is going to support. That is the second reason why, okay, Azure DevOps was that much popular. Okay, and one more reason why it is popular means, okay, so Azure people, Microsoft people, as everyone knows, okay, these are very user friendly, right? Completely these are user friendly applications. Okay, fourth reason why it was popular means, when compared to other DevOps salaries, okay, Azure DevOps salaries are very high. So when you apply Azure DevOps job with a 3 to 4 years of experience, easily you can expect 12 to 13 lakhs of salary. Okay, more salaries also. because nowadays Azure DevOps is very growing very fastly. Azure DevOps jobs are more when compared to generic DevOps, and competition is also very less when compared to generic DevOps. Okay. And one more reason why it is popular means Microsoft is giving huge discounts for the people. It is giving huge discounts to the customers. And the another reason why Azure DevOps is popular means, okay, rapid growth in the plugins. Rapid growth in the plugin. What is a plugin actually? Plugin is nothing but it is a extension to your Azure DevOps portal. Okay. And a plugin is going to minimize your work. Okay, so it does not install any software. Okay, it is going to provide some kind of UI. It is going to provide some kind of UI, user interface, so that we can do our tasks in a easy fashion. And not only in India, okay, in other abroad, foreign countries like USA, UK, Australia, also Azure DevOps is growing popularly. Okay, the salaries are more when compared to, okay, other DevOps and other technology stack. Okay, so these are the reasons why Azure DevOps is that much popular. Okay, so till this point, any questions, any doubts?
Sir. Hello.
Yes.
Sir, what is a cloud native means?
Cloud native means you need not to manage anything. Okay, so suppose just imagine a software is there. I want to install some Jenkins software. To install Jenkins software, generally what I require a physical machine or virtual machine on which I have to manage. Suppose you take another example. I want to install database server. Generally, to install database server, I need to buy one physical machine. Okay, on the physical machine, I have to install operating system. On the top of operating system, we have to install database server. And to manage database server, we need to have one DBA. Here, these are the headaches involved when you want to install and manage a software in your office. Cloud native means you need not to install anything. Okay, everything is managed by cloud people only. Okay, like virtual machine, software, hardware, networking, load balancers, everything they are managed. That is nothing but cloud native.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now, these are the reasons why Azure DevOps is very popular. So Azure DevOps, when we speak about Azure DevOps, okay, so it is going to have 5 components. Let us discuss. Let us go to Azure DevOps PPTs. Let us open some PPTs so that it will be very clear to you. Azure DevOps.
Sir, sorry for the interruption. Sir, this
Yes.
course is enough for Azure DevOps certificate, sir, or we need some more?
No. This is enough for Azure DevOps certification also.
Okay.
But apart from that, you have to do hard work. At least you have to spend 2 to 3 hours in a day. Then only you can clear the certification.
Yeah. But it's enough for writing this course.
Yeah, it is enough.
Yeah.
It is enough means you have to attempt some more examples, some more live examples.
Okay.
Then it will be clear. So
Yeah.
apart from this, you need to practice some other extra hours also. That is mandatory.
Yeah, got it.
Sir,
Now this already we have discussed here. Hello.
yes, sir. I have one question, sir. If I'm going to learn these Azure courses, which courses required previous, sir?
This is Azure DevOps. Azure admin course is different. Azure developer course is different. Okay, this is completely, he is going to create pipelines, automation. Okay, I told you, right? So here in this case, it is going to automate everything, like starting from developer writing the code and till deployment of the code into live environment. Okay, it is going to automate everything. Okay, majorly when you are able to automate all these activities, means definitely Okay, the time will be reduced, right? That depends on your choice. Azure admin is different, Azure DevOps is different, Azure developer is different. Okay, this is completely focusing on Azure DevOps.
Okay, sir.
Okay, now this is my, already we have discussed this flow. Okay, and developer writes the code. Sorry, just wait. It is giving me a lot of headache. Okay, Azure DevOps is a combination of majorly 5 components: Azure boards, Azure pipelines, Azure repos, Azure test plans, Azure artifacts. Azure boards is a place where exactly project managers will come into picture. They will take a plan. Okay, like manpower, what are the softwares required, how much budget is required. Okay, so that kind of estimation is done in Azure boards. And as we know that Azure pipelines allows you to create 2 types of pipelines. One is build pipeline and other one is release pipeline. Okay, using Azure pipelines, we are going to create 2 types of pipelines. And Azure repos is a place exactly where you can store the code. This is just like Git. Okay, so we are going to use Git also as a part of our Azure DevOps. We are going to use Git also. Okay, Azure repos is a place where exactly you can store the code. Okay, and Azure test plans, as we know that. Okay, so once the code is once the artifact is created, the artifact must be tested. That means as a part of Azure DevOps, we are going to integrate some test cases. Okay, with our code. Okay, so that kind of test cases are going to be stored in test plans. And I think everyone might be knowing reusable components. Okay, like DLLs and some other reusable components are there. So that kind of reusable components are stored into Azure artifacts. So these are the 5 places, okay, which is going to form completely Azure DevOps. And this is flow. Already we have discussed this flow. In Visual Studio, generally developers will write the code. From there, they are going to submit code into Azure repos. Okay, and before that, Azure pipelines will come into picture. Okay, once the pipeline code is built, we are going to test it. Okay, once the testing is over, we are going to deploy code into Azure Web Apps. Okay, Azure Web Apps is a service. Okay, and where exactly we are going to deploy our code, copy the code to run this. And this is nothing but Azure Application Insights. Insight is nothing but this is a monitoring tool. While my application is running, okay, while my application is running, it is going to check whether application is running perfectly or not. Okay, whether my system is growing beyond the what we can say timelines. So that kind of things we can monitor by using Application Insights. And you know that your DevOps engineer will be developer will be writing the code. And Azure boards is a place where exactly project managers will be coming to picture. They will be developing the code. Just a minute, my system is. Yeah, can you hear me, voice?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay.
Sir, I have one query here.
Yes.
So when will you deploy when will you create this, apply this Azure, pipelines, whether the
after creating the developer creating the code and they build the server, then only will apply this pipeline, or before that, after that?
No, no. Once a developer writes the code, you have to build the code. Okay. Once a developer finishes to write the code, okay, as a DevOps engineer, we have to build the code.
Okay. Okay.
And this is Azure Pipeline's features. Okay, Azure Pipeline is going to support any language, any platform, any cloud. Okay, any language means already you have discussed, right? So from 2018 onwards, okay, VSTS was renamed as Azure DevOps. From that, okay, so from Azure DevOps, so from that point of view, so it is going to support every language. And it is extensible. Okay, extensible, of course, it is not our responsibility. And whenever the capacity of the builds are increasing automatically, okay, we can extend the capability of the pipelines. And Azure pipelines can also be integrated with the containers. What is a container? We will discuss later, because in this stage it is very early to discuss this concept. And you can integrate my Azure pipelines with GitHub repository, external GitHub repository also. Okay, how you can integrate pipelines with external GitHub repository, that we will discuss in the forthcoming classes, because we are going to take majorly two types of applications, Java applications and .NET applications. Okay, so by taking Java applications and .NET applications, okay, it will be very clear. Again, here it is the place, okay, where exactly it is showing Azure boards and Azure repos, Azure pipelines, Azure test plans, and Azure artifacts. Now, you can ask your questions so that I will clarify. I hope this DevOps flow is clear, and what is the difference between a generic DevOps engineer and application DevOps engineer. Okay, and Azure DevOps engineer just is going to create only build and release pipelines. We don't provide any infrastructure. That is not our responsibility. Whereas generic DevOps engineer, infra DevOps engineer, okay, are going to provide environments, and they are also automating CI and CD pipelines. As a DevOps engineer, just we are going to create two types of pipelines soon. Now I will open for your answers. You can ask any type of questions, I will answer. From tomorrow onwards, we are going to start Azure repos. Okay, so because that is the first place where exactly developer will submit the code. What is the need of Azure repos? Okay, and what is the next CD? What are the capabilities of version control systems? That is our starting point of tomorrow's session.
Sir, show me before slide, sir.
Which one slide?
PPT, sir. PPT.
Yeah.
What about this one, sir?
Which one?
Previously, you told this one only, no?
Yeah. This one, Azure boards. Actually, Azure DevOps is a combination of 5 components. I told you, right? Okay, Azure DevOps, Azure boards, Azure repos, Azure pipelines, Azure test plans, and Azure artifacts. Here, Azure artifacts is a place where exactly you store reusable components. Okay, so you are developing some reusable program. Component is nothing but you can assume as a program, and that you can submit in Azure artifacts. Your team members will be reusing that component. And Azure test plans is a place where exactly we can store test cases. Okay, in the diagram I told you, right? Once the code is developed and that is deployed into build environment, once artifact is created, that will be tested. Okay, but with respect to Azure DevOps, okay, so we have to store test plans into some place called Azure test plans. And Azure pipelines is a place where exactly you can store, where exactly we are going to create build and release pipelines. And Azure Repos is a place where exactly, okay, we can store the code. Then already I told Azure Boards is used by project managers to, okay, to create project plans. You're asking about this slide, right?
Previous one, sir. Previous, please.
Previous one. Okay.
Flow, sir. Flow, architecture flow.
Okay. Okay.
Sir, I have a quick question. As a part of this course,
Yes.
will you also be covering the agile boards? Like for an example, since we are in the agile project management, right? So how do you
Yes.
be able to identify where that particular, the feature is? Either is it in the development or whether it's in UAT? Will such sort of details be covered in the agile boards or sorry, Azure boards?
Yeah, actually, we don't cover Azure Boards. In the place of Azure Boards, we are giving one extra benefit, that is Docker and Kubernetes.
Oh, okay.
Because most of the guys are not concentrating on Azure Boards, but because that is not our responsibility. As a DevOps engineer, our major focus is on to create a CI/CD pipelines.
Okay.
Did you get my point?
Yep.
Can you brief about Kubernetes and Docker, sir? Mainly, why we are using them?
Because it takes a lot of time. Okay.
Yeah, at least 2-3 minutes.
Yeah.
left on.
Okay.
Okay, 10 minutes meeting. 10 minutes meeting. 10 minutes and call back just now. Okay. Wait. 10 minutes meeting on 10 minutes.
So just imagine a situation. Okay, I will tell one accurate example. Okay. Just imagine this is my cloud platform. In cloud platform, whatever it may be, cloud or on premises, whatever it may be. Just imagine we are running one e-commerce application. Okay, in this environment, e-commerce application generally it can be like Amazon shopping website or Flipkart. Okay, many other shopping website, many other e-commerce sites are there. Okay, now just imagine e-commerce application. It is not a single application. Everyone knows that. Okay, so it will be breaking down into many mini services, microservices. So like authentication service. Just we can imagine like that. Authentication, authorization. Okay, sales service. Okay, and purchase, inventory. Sorry, inventory. DB service, database service, cache service, many services are there. And we know that in the month of December, okay, generally we will have many offers, especially not in December, some kind of festival season. In the festival seasons, generally they will provide some offers. Okay, just imagine a Lappy for 100. Sorry, INR. This is very cheapest offer, right? No one is going to lose this offer. Okay, in this connection, thousands members will be participating will be trying to grab this offer. Okay. As a consequence, the traffic on the server will be abnormally increased. Is it right or not?
Yes, sir. It's right.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, automatically traffic will increase. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Automatically traffic is increased.
Yeah.
But in the traffic, will all the services are busy? Only one or two services are busy. Okay, as the services are increasing, what is the consequence? As a single virtual machine cannot tolerate more number of users, so we are going to add one more machine. And one more machine. Generally, this is nothing but auto scaling. As the traffic is increasing to tolerate more number of users, definitely we are going to add machines, virtual machines. But what happens when I add a virtual machine? All my services are replicated, right? Okay, if this is e-commerce application, so this e-commerce application will be replicated into all 4 virtual machines. All my 7 services are replicated. All my 7 services are replicated because e-commerce application replication is nothing but replication of 7 services. But for the sake of just 1 or 2 services, just imagine in case of 1 or 2 services, suppose at the peak moment, only sales service is busy. Sales and authentication is busy. Remaining services are not busy. Okay, they are normal inflow. Now, just for the sake of 1 or 2 services, why I need to take complete virtual machine? Because to add one more virtual machine, we need to have complete OS. Generally, as per our knowledge, every virtual machine OS takes more than 1200 MB of space. More than 1200 MB of space. And just imagine your application size is only just 5 MB. Application size is only 5 MB. Just for the sake of 5 MB, how much space we are wasting? Okay. So to address this issue, okay, containers will come into picture. So what a container can do? Container is not a virtual machine. Every container will have something like microservice. Just my intention is just I want to replicate only sales and authentication service. Just for the sake of authentication service and sales service, I don't create virtual machine. Just I create a container. Okay, so you can create a container even with 5 MB of space, 5 MB of storage. See how much convenient it is. But here container will not have full-fledged operating system. Full-fledged operating system, even with 5 MB of storage also, we can create a container where exactly we can run, okay, this kind of microservices. Okay, we don't use full-fledged virtual machine. Just we are going to use only one container. Okay, so within that container, we can run this kind of small services. Okay, just for the sake of running small services, I don't need to waste 1200 MB of space. Now, to create containers, we need to have images. Okay, and in case of 1 or 2 containers, we can use something like Docker. So Docker is a tool which is going to manage 1 or 2 containers. So suppose there are thousands of containers in the production environment. Okay, definitely it is going to manage thousands of containers. So to manage thousands of containers, okay, Docker is not enough. Okay, we have to use something like Kubernetes tool. So Kubernetes is a orchestration engine. Okay, so which is going to automate this process, like starting of containers, stopping, self-healing, high availability, load balancing. So this kind of provision is there with the Kubernetes software. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Now it's clear, sir. Fine, sir. Thank you.
Nowadays, I think everyone might be knowing. Okay, so the software market is growing towards microservices. Okay, so just for the sake of microservices deployment, microservice usages. Okay, so we are covering Docker and Kubernetes at free of cost as a part of this course. So actually, so we are providing 2 courses at 1 course fees cost. So these 2 are actually 2 different courses, Azure DevOps and Docker Kubernetes. So just for the sake of student facility, so we are providing Docker and Kubernetes at free of cost. Okay, so if you want to utilize this opportunity, it is a beautiful offer actually. You need not to pay for 2 courses, just you can pay one for 1 course, and you can attend Docker and Kubernetes classes at free of cost. And soon we are going to start Docker and Kubernetes sessions also at morning 6:45 AM IST. That means in this batch we are not going to cover Docker and Kubernetes. You have to attend simultaneously 6:45 AM IST morning, and for Azure DevOps you have to attend 10 AM IST. Parallelly, you have to attend both.
Evening 6:30 no, sir. Docker Kubernetes.
Docker Kubernetes morning 6:45.
Only morning only.
What is the duration for Docker and Kubernetes classes, sir?
That is 1 month. That is 1 month. This is one. Totally, it is 8 weeks.
Totally 88 weeks. It means 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months. But parallelly, you are going to attend, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Docker and Kubernetes morning 10 AM. This Azure DevOps course.
So Azure DevOps course is also for 30 hours, or it will be 2 months?
4 weeks. 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
So it's 1 month in whole, right? Both we
Yeah,
should complete.
yeah. So altogether it comes around 2 months. Okay, if you attend parallelly,
Simultaneously.
okay, it takes 1 month.
Okay, all right. So do you cover Terraform also, sir, as part of this Azure
No.
DevOps?
Terraform again, that comes under generic DevOps. See, if huge strength will come, okay, we will see. We will see for the alternates. We
Okay.
will provide.
Okay. So what about the other scripting languages, sir? Ansible or Chef?
Yeah.
Automation.
So they are the part of generic DevOps. Just now we have
Yes.
discussed about generic DevOps, right?
Yes. So do you mean that those are not required for Azure DevOps implementation?
No. For
For
Azure
sales.
DevOps, that is not required. That comes under infra DevOps.
Okay. So here we do only pipelining for continuous integration.
Yeah.
continuous
Our
delivery.
major focus is on pipelines only.
Okay. So is the Azure Admin is a different course again?
Azure Admin is different course again. Azure Admin means they are responsible for providing networking, storage, so virtual
That
machines.
is completely for infra.
That comes under infra
Really?
part.
This is Azure developer, sir. This one.
No. This is Azure developer is different. For becoming Azure DevOps, you must have excellent knowledge in coding, Java coding and .NET coding. So this is Azure DevOps. Azure DevOps is different. Azure developer is different. Azure admin is different. These 3 are the 3 different roles. And if you are an Azure developer, okay, you are going to write code for creating infra.
Creating infra means creating a new service.
Infrastructure, servers. To create servers, we are going to write code, Java code and .NET code. You must be a developer. When you are a developer, okay, Azure developer is extension to developer course.
Okay. Do we have certification for this course, sir? Microsoft is providing DevOps certificate.
Yeah, we don't
Yes,
provide
yes.
any certification. Okay.
Okay.
Our certification fees is different, right? We have to pay to Microsoft.
No, I am not asking. Here we are covering the certification course or not. But if we want to take a certification, does Microsoft provide the Azure DevOps certification?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Actually, why we are not covering Azure boards means it's as someone is asking. Actually, Azure boards is a matter of 3 to 4 days. Only 3 to 4 sessions only. But in the place of Azure boards, just we are covering Docker and Kubernetes because that is most important nowadays.
Yes. Yes.
So we can take up Azure boards also, but that is a matter of 3 to 4 sessions. That's all. Not more than 3 to 4 sessions. But if you take up Azure DevOps and Kubernetes, it is 4 week duration, 3 to 4 weeks duration. Okay, as Docker and Kubernetes is having very huge demand nowadays. Okay, so we have conducting Docker and Kubernetes sessions.
There are we covering complete Kubernetes administration, sir? All the Kubernetes modules.
All the Kubernetes modules means you are asking about what? Advanced Kubernetes we don't
Kubernetes.
cover. Advanced Kubernetes means how Kubernetes is going to work. Okay, that is that comes under expert Kubernetes.
Okay. As well, there is a Kubernetes admin roles, right? So
Yeah. Here Kubernetes admin means here we are going to write YAML files. Okay, you know Kubernetes can also be written by using YAML files and REST APIs. But here we, as a DevOps engineer, we use YAML files. We don't use REST APIs.
yes. So do you cover how to write the YAML files? And
Yeah, we cover YAML files.
okay, fine. And will this course useful for the guy who has more than 10 years of experience to?
Definitely, this will be helpful. Okay, even you have 10 years of experience, you cannot put up 10 years experience, right? Because Azure DevOps was introduced in the month of the year of 2018. You cannot apply 10 years experience, right? You have to show your rest of the experience in other tools, other technology.
Yeah.
Only from 2018 onwards, you can show that you are working on Azure DevOps. Even you put before 2018 as Azure DevOps engineer, so that you will not be considered because before 2018 there was no Azure DevOps. From 2018 onwards, to the Azure DevOps was there. That is the truth.
Yes. So just for career transition, so if we
For
add this,
career transition, you can go this. You can apply. You can go through this.
Okay, all right, sir. Thank you.
Sir, what about Jenkins, sir?
Jenkins is nothing but Azure DevOps, right? Jenkins is nothing but Azure DevOps. Okay, so Jenkins actually it is a part of generic DevOps. If you are learning generic DevOps, okay, Jenkins will be taught. But this is equivalent to Jenkins only.
Okay.
Azure DevOps is equivalent to Jenkins only.
Okay.
Sir, this one also Jenkins like that. Here also some Jenkins dashboard like that.
Jenkins dashboard. Here Azure boards are there. Okay, like Jenkins dashboard means in Jenkins also we can create two types of pipelines, right? We can write, we can build pipelines either by using UI or by writing code also. Declarative pipeline and scripted pipelines are there. Using code and you can dashboards also we can create pipelines. Here also we can have two types of facilities using Classic Editor and YAML file. But our major focus is on Classic Editor only because most of the guys in the industry are using this one Classic Editor only, not YAML files.
What's our Classic
Editor?
Sorry?
Classic Editor.
You can write notepad, sir, if you don't.
Yeah, I will write on the notepad. Classic Editor.
So this class is going to start from tomorrow, right? And the Docker and Kubernetes, we don't know when it is going to start.
Yeah, maybe decided tomorrow. Is it in this week or next week? I will decide it tomorrow evening.
So the Docker and Kubernetes will also be taken by you, or is it another faculty?
Yeah, not myself only.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it will be a good sync. Otherwise, we'll be
No. Myself only.
okay.
Sir, Docker Kubernetes only morning or evening? No evening. sir?
Evening batches generally we don't have because if most of the members are joining, if most of the members are asking, okay, we will plan at 8 o'clock, evening 8 o'clock.
But once start at 6:45, it's not going to get changed, right? Because evening is not suitable for me.
Yeah, actually, we have 2 batches for Docker and Kubernetes also, but evening batches I don't prefer. Okay, morning 6:45 only. Most of the students are from USA.
Okay.
Okay, 80 to 90% students are from USA only. My batch students. Okay, only 20 to 30% students are from India.
And it's going to be an hour each, right?
Yeah, what do you say?
It's going to be an hour each, right? So morning 1 hour and at 10 a.m. it's going to be another hour.
1
for the
hour.
class.
Yes.
Yeah.
2 different timings.
Okay.
Sir, Docker Kubernetes also providing recording all the things, no?
Complete recordings. Even you can download the recordings also. Okay.
So
that
we
feature
have
I'm
an
giving.
LMS. We have an LMS where we have to log in, or how these will be how we can check these recordings.
Yeah, you need not have any LMS. I am going to share recordings through Google Drive.
Oh, okay. And are there any other documents that you will be sharing as a part of this course?
Yeah, definitely. Running notes will also be shared with you. Running notes and some other materials, some other examples, some live, some case studies will also be shared as a part of recording.
Okay. Sir, actually, I'm from the project management background. So basically, I'm doing this course because we are going to start deploying our applications in the Azure DevOps tool. So I was keen to know about the Azure boards, but you said it's not going to be covered. But is there any way that you could share some basic idea of how this is managed real time? That will be helpful.
Which one? Azure boards? Okay.
Because I know the major challenge we are having is in Jira, we are not able to identify where those feature is currently being is there, like it is there in the development server or QA server or UAT server or in the release server. So because multiple people work on that particular feature parallelly. So but I understand Azure DevOps has, or Azure board has that facility where you can really clearly visibly see where that feature is currently in which phase. Is that so?
Yeah, you are right. But initially, actually, we started Azure boards only. But people have requested for Docker and Kubernetes. That is why we have cancelled Azure boards and we have started Docker and Kubernetes. Most of the people are asking for Docker and Kubernetes only.
I'm absolutely okay with that, but I can really relate to what the boards would do. But do you have any documents which I can go through, or is there any
yeah, documents if are there, I will share. Don't worry about the documents. And again, the Docker, the Azure boards, it is not that much difficulty.
I know. I know. It's just that you need to get used to that UI. But if you have any documents, if you can share that, and I think that will be helpful for
if
me.
any documents are, definitely I will share. Okay.
That should be okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir.
Yes.
So what is the fee structure?
Yeah, regarding fee structure and everything, you can contact Durga team, meaning training team. They will provide you everything. Recordings. Okay, they will provide complete information.
And who from the Durgasoft we should contact, because I just got an SMS and I just registered and joined.
Yes.
Do you have any contact person to whom I can connect to?
Yeah, Bhavani is there and Chandrakala is there.
Can you share their mobile numbers if you don't mind in the chat?
Yeah, definitely. Just a minute.
Yeah.
Just a minute, I will share.
Yeah.
Can you note down the number? I will write on the notepad.
No problem, sir. So
Yeah, another
Bhavan is the
number.
one point of contact. Okay.
5262 627.
And these classes are only for 5 days a week, right?
Yeah, Monday to Friday.
Okay.
Your major contact person is you can contact Bhavani.
Done. Thank you. I'll do that.
Yeah, any other questions? Because from tomorrow onwards, we are going to start actual subject.
And
Okay,
that's at
Azure
10 in the
reports.
morning.
10 o'clock.
Okay.
Docker Kubernetes, I did not start. I have to start it.
Okay.
Already students are there. Already their confirmed students are there. I have to, what we can say?
Decide the date and the
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Decide dates.
Yeah. Okay.
What is the difference between Azure DevOps and DevOps on Linux?
Yeah, yeah. Come again.
So difference between Azure DevOps and DevOps on Linux.
Your voice is breaking. Can you
Hello.
please?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me. Umesh,
Sorry.
are you Umesh?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, tell me.
So what is the difference between the Azure DevOps and DevOps on Linux with AWS?
DevOps on Linux means generally here people will get confused here. DevOps on AWS, DevOps on Azure. Okay. Azure DevOps, completely these are different. Actually,
Okay.
DevOps is a concept. Here you can install DevOps softwares like Jenkins, Git, Maven, Terraform, Docker, Kubernetes, anywhere. Okay, anywhere in the cloud. So
Okay.
to practice these DevOps tools, I need to have virtual machines. Virtual machines I
Okay.
can take from any cloud. Okay, I can take virtual machines from Azure cloud and AWS cloud. But the thing is, Azure DevOps is completely people will get confused here only. Okay. DevOps on AWS, both are same actually. Only machines are different. Creation of virtual machine is different. Here in my case, okay, to demonstrate Docker Kubernetes, I am going to take virtual machines from AWS. But that is, you don't say that it is not AWS DevOps. AWS DevOps is different from DevOps on AWS. Did you get my point?
Okay. Okay, sir.
I can take virtual machines from any cloud. Okay. As
Okay.
AWS is having more free time. Okay. Usually I'm going to take virtual machines from AWS cloud, not from Azure cloud. Okay.
Okay.
Only virtual machine creation is different. From now on, once you create the virtual machine, okay, everything is same. Docker pull command work everywhere. Docker pull command is going to download the image. Okay. It is same in Azure cloud or AWS cloud.
Okay, thank you.
So people will get confused here. Don't get confused. Docker on, DevOps on AWS is different from AWS DevOps. And DevOps on Azure is different from Azure DevOps.
That means Azure is different, Azure DevOps is different, sir.
Azure admin is different, Azure DevOps is different. Azure admin means I just have spoken about Azure admin, right? Okay, it is nothing but providing infrastructure. We create virtual machines, networking, storage, load balancers. Okay, that is Azure admin part. In Azure DevOps, what Azure DevOps is going to do? He is going to create build and release pipelines. That is the major responsibility of a DevOps engineer. Here, infrastructure will not come into picture. We don't create any infrastructure. Just our major focus is on to create build and release pipelines. We don't create any infrastructure. Did you get my point?
Okay. Means you are not deploy our project into Azure.
We deploy project. For deploying project, we require virtual machine. That's all. But our major focus is not on creating infrastructure, right? To deploy application, we need to have virtual machines. But to create virtual machines, we need not be Azure admin people, right?
Oh, yes, sir. Exactly. Fine, sir. Clear, sir. Thank you, sir.
So here, if no questions are there, I will stop it for today. Tomorrow we meet again at the same time with same link. Thank you. Thanks for attending.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.